Listen to me. We don't want to kill any of you. But trust me, we will. Wake them up a little!
This whole thing is pretty much done. We're more ghosts than people.
You have got to keep faith. They will not crush us.
Good old Dutch. My best friend. You know how we met? Pair of hucksters trying to rob each other. Back in 78 or thereabouts.
You have to love yourself a fire. It's one of the blessings. Sure, we can have fire. And we can have the knowledge of fire. But with that comes the knowledge of everything. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a robbery.
Sons of Dutch. Makes us brothers. Sometimes, brothers make mistakes.
You'll never change. I know that.
All of you venerate savagery. And you will die savagely.
Get out here! Stay strong. Stay with me.
All right, welcome to Handy with the Steel. This is Chapter 11. Title to be determined. I will do the paper one last time. This should be the last session of this day, which is May 6th, the third day of the campaign. I'm just going to go over this very quickly because I've done it several times now. So, tragedy, the cowardice of the yellow man knows no bounds. Our sheriff, the affable Greg Gunderson, was ambushed by Injuns. These yellow savages murdered our poor sheriff and injured his deputy, Bill Tucker. I call for all people to rise up against these godless heathens and fight for your manifest destiny. Sheriff Gunderson will be laid to rest this afternoon at 1 o'clock in the town cemetery. Reverend Carson is to preside. Wear your best attire, no drunkenness or lawlessness. May Jesus Christ call Sheriff Gunderson into his holy arms through the pearly gates of heaven. And we'll just go on from there. So this first part of this session, just a small scene with Jessa in the morning of this day. So we're kind of backtracking just a bit to give some context to what might happen later. So let's do that. One sec. That's weird. Sorry, technical difficulty. Everybody see the scene?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
There we go. So it is the morning of this day, right? Later in the day, you'll find that Greg Gunderson, the sheriff, was murdered by Indians. This is fairly early in the morning, probably 9 a.m. The word's probably circulating now. Jessa probably has not heard this as of yet. Being led into her office is her geologist and the man that does a lot of her business in relation to the mines. He's been let in by Rosie or one of the other household staff, and he knocks on the door.
And Jezebel is just in her office. She's finishing up a few touches on the contract that she had kind of prepared for signing with the mine dealer. What was his name again?
Mr. Taggart.
Taggart. So he's kind of putting the finishing touches. She's got her pen out, making sure to sign everything, dot all the I's, cross all the T's. And she's got a fairly big smile on her face, so she had a little bit more to drink than she usually had the night before at the party. She's still pretty chipper. Things have seemed to be going Jess's way, though she did receive some awful news about her brother, and she's kind of been bottling that up and pushing it down, waiting to deal with that at a quieter time. In general, things have been going pretty well for Jezebel Dunn. As she hears the knocking on her door, she puts down the pen and clasps her hands together on her desk. You may come in.
Door opens and Elliot peeks through. Oh, Mrs. Dunn. Just got back from the Thompson mine. He steps in, wiping his hands on his slacks.
Oh, fabulous. Come in, Mr. Marshall. And she'll actually stand and kind of gesture towards the chair across from.
He's an older gentleman, but still pretty spry. He is a geologist, first and foremost, and is fairly competent with the business dealings with those mines at Jess's behest. He walks over slowly and sits in the chair, shaking his head as he does so. Jessa can clearly see by the look on his face that something is not going perfectly.
She looks him over before slowly sitting in her chair and scooting it up twice to be more comfortable. Or kind of shimmies her shoulders a bit, sitting taller, and looks him over. May I ask, Mr. Marshall, you don't look very excited about the deal. May I ask what's going on?
Deal is fine, ma'am. I did give a look over the mine from their foreman, and it'll make you a tidy profit, I do believe. But the problem is, well, he scratches his beard. Miners and foremen told me that Mr. Thompson never came home last night after the party.
Jezebel sucks in her cheeks, biting the inner flesh between her teeth. She looks over Marshall, and you can see there's a little bit of red that starts to form over her cheeks and upper cheekbone. She remains, at least in her face, calm. You're telling me that Taggart didn't get home last night?
That's what it appears. I've already sent out some feelers in town to see if he's anywhere there. No one seems to have heard or seen from him after the party. So, I'm not sure. I did also stop by the Preston Estates, and they do claim that he left.
Yeah, I remember seeing him leave last night, so it's not like he was stopped exiting the party as far as I know. She looks towards the door, closing her eyes in slight frustration. Small whistle comes out her nose as she huffs. She looks back to Elliot and plasters a very wry smile on her face. Just make sure to keep looking there, Marshall. I want to make sure this deal ain't gonna go sour. There's definitely something afoot here. Is all was well at a time. Maybe look on the trail between the Prestons and his home instead of in town. How about that?
He scratches his back of his head. Well, I'm not much of an outdoorsman, ma'am, but I did ride from the mine to the Preston Estates, and there is a small trail there between the two. No sign of him, unfortunately.
Any crags, any maybe gullies, any caves, anything like that maybe could have been dragged off into? No signs of blood, no signs of a struggle on the line?
Well, I can't say I really was looking for that sort of thing, or if...
Well, I suggest that you look, Mr. Marshall, or at least have your men look. And she again gives that very tight smile.
He nods slowly. Perhaps a thing for the sheriff? Oh, I do need to tell you, ma'am, there is some rumors that Sheriff Gunderson's been killed.
See Jezebel's eyes widen at that. Her jaw slacks slightly, but her mouth stays shut. Oh, Gunderson is deceased, you say? That is most upsetting. What happened?
Well, what I heard when I was in town, that Injuns killed him while looking for some miscreants.
Of course. It's always them folk. You seen Crow anywhere around?
I did not see him when I came up to the manor. I can have the help look and see if he's here.
Have the help look and maybe be a dear and say he can come in the house. Just make sure he wipes his feet and showers before sitting on the good linens.
He nods. Sure. Alright, well, I'll head back down to the Thompson mine and do some more investigating.
Good. Also, in addition, Mr. Marshall, I want you to keep an eye out for anyone who's been, maybe have feelers on who's going to be skulking around that mine, see if any of the other companies are planning on swooping down and attempting to buy it, see if they're assuming that Taggart's dead already, alright?
Very well. If he is, it will go to local auction, and, fortunately, I don't think we have a chance if they really want to buy it out from underneath us.
Unfortunate. I know that's not an option, so hopefully he'll still be alive.
Yes. Also, yesterday when I was over at your holdings, I did have those 2 miners that you had asked me to inquire about. I believe they are here.
Good. Where are they at currently?
Oh, I think Miguel has them outside in the one of the outhouse areas, waiting. I didn't think he wanted to bring them inside.
Tell Maxwell to bring him into the cellar. All right. Why are you calling him by that Mexican name?
Isn't that his name, ma'am?
His name's Maxwell. At least up here in America it is.
Very well. Maxwell. I'll tell Maxwell right away.
Good. Thank you very much, Mr. Marsh. You can see yourself out, I'm sure.
Of course. He pushes the chair back and stands up and gives her a slight bow. Ma'am?
She nods, and as he leaves and the door shuts slightly behind, Jessa looks down to the contract, picks up the pen that she was holding, and the anger starts coming over her face at this point. As things were just looking up, now they seem to be slowly crumbling. It's not the end of the world, but Jessa does not like disappointment. She clutches a pen tightly, pressing on the top of it. She puts it between both of her fingers, her left and right, and snaps it in half in anger. Slams it down on the table before getting up. Ruffles her dress, and then makes her way, now with a very composed, very tight face, down to breakfast.
Yeah, the day passes, and for those watching and those that are aware, the last chapter happens at this point, which was chapter 10, Close Shave. Jessa finds that she gets some more mixed news, bad and good. Sometime after that episode, at dusk, ride up 2 individuals who've had pretty rough days themselves. Nelson Ward and Bill Tucker. Let me just switch the scene a little bit here. Okay. It's pretty much dark at this point as you ride up to this large manor house. There's no one outside that you can see currently. The day has been quite rough for both of you, seeing Gundy laid to rest. Although you did see Mrs. Dunn at the funeral, she stood in the back and did not engage with any chit-chat from anyone. This was the same for other luminaries of the town, such as the Preston brothers. Mr. Butler, however, was not there. And Bill had remembered what the mayor had asked Gundy, and that was to see about Mrs. Dunn and this supposed attack on her life that the miners in town had been talking about at the Jewel, which Bill did overhear. So you guys can take it away as you're riding up the lane there.
Bill Tucker's on his Palomino as the sun sets and the night deepens. You can hear crickets start to chirp outside, and he produces from underneath his jacket this small flask and takes a little sip. Here we are, Nelly. It's been a long damn day, huh? One more task to get to. Gotta talk to this rich lady about the attempt on her life. Yeah. Some of us ended the day with our life, so hopefully this will be brief.
Yeah, I suppose. Hopefully it goes pretty well. I can't think of much trouble we'd have.
Kind
Be
of
looking forward to getting sleep.
holds up his horse and holds his left hand out, extending the flask to Nellie.
Yeah, Nelson gives him a nod. Thanks. And takes a not a particularly big sip, but a sip nonetheless, and passes it back.
Bill takes a second one, a rather liberal sip before he tucks it back beneath his jacket, and rides up to the hitching post in front of the house, and hitches his horse and hops down. In the night, you can't see the dust that rises from his boots, but his duster and his boots are all pretty much covered in grime by this point. The last few days have been very busy, and he hasn't had time to do much in the way of taking care of himself, in the way of hygiene.
Yeah, Nelson kind of follows suit, hitching his horse and everything. He's looking comparatively a lot cleaner. He definitely cleaned up proper for the funeral and everything, and took his time with it. You notice that as he's kind of approaching on the horse and kind of setting down and everything, he's kind of keeping an eye out. Doesn't look like he's paranoid, but it looks like he's almost just keeping an eye out for something.
And as you're kind of looking around, someone rounds the corner on the porch area. He's a dark-skinned man with a Van Dyke mustache and goatee, long, greasy Mexican hair. Hello. What do you need here? The lady might like visitors at night.
Bill kind of removes his hat and tries to slick back his hair the best he can, and pretty much a hard part to the right. He says, "Oh, I apologize, sir. I'm just checking up on Lady Dunn. We did hear that was quite a disturbance lately. Of course, you might have heard the news, but our hands have been pretty full with the goings-on back in town, and we just wanted to make our rounds, introduce ourselves, and make sure everything was okay."
He looks between the two and doesn't really give any signal of acknowledgement, just looks at the door and then back to them. I go get them, if you want. See what she says?
I'd appreciate this, sir. I apologize to the lady if she is sleeping.
You catch, like, the corner of his mouth, like, almost smile as you say that, and he just walks past you, opens the door. He actually leaves it ajar.
Bill Tucker just shoots a sidewise glance at Nelson. Kind of like rolls his eyes like, don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, Nelson kind of looks to him a bit curious. Kind of shrugs. Oh, well, like you said, hopefully she's awake at least.
Just inside, Maxwell ends up coming to wherever you are and says, "Lady, sheriff's outside."
Jezebel at this point is still in her office. She's kind of gone back to it. She's got a glass full of whiskey and got the decanter on her table. And she's swirling around her drink, and she looks up to Maxwell and frowns. I know it's really hard to pronounce in your accent there, Maxwell, but it's Miss Dunn to you. And what'd you say? I'm sorry, I couldn't understand through your thick mustache.
He blinks several times. See, yes. Sheriff outside, ma'am. Miss Dunn. Mrs. Dunn. Senorita.
She licks her lips in annoyance, her brows furrowing. She gets up and downs the rest. Sheriff, huh? Alright, well, make sure Mary ain't escaped yet. I'm going downstairs. She makes sure to make sure her derringer's with her, of course, obscured as usual. And she picks up the front of her dress and heads down the stairway, going towards the door. And she actually, before she kind of even makes it down to the entryway, she calls out, "Rosie!"
Rosie passes Maxwell and she says something to him under her breath, and he just nods towards you, and then she hustles towards you. "Yes, ma'am, yes, yes." She's just got a thick layer of sweat on her brow as she's been cooking dinner.
Make sure that there's some blankets or something to make sure the couches are clean down in the parlor, all right? We have a couple guests.
She nods and just turns around and walks off.
Jezebel makes her way downstairs, and seeing the doors open, her brows furrow further. She puts on a usual content southern smile and heads downstairs. I can probably see her approaching from inside, and she makes it to the doorway, not stepping a foot out. "Gentlemen, nice to finally see you."
Good evening, Miss Dunn. I apologize for the interruption, but your man said that you were still awake. He's quite the
Quite useless? Yeah, that's Maxwell. No, you're gonna come in, you're gonna catch a cold getting outside. Come on.
I didn't presume to come inside, ma'am. Your servant did leave the door ajar.
Yeah, well, I don't think they teach manners deep, deep down in the South.
It is a lost art form, I might say. Nellie, why don't you head on in? I'll be right behind you.
Oh, yeah, all right. He kind of gives a nod to Jezebel. It's a pleasure to meet you, ma'am.
It's lovely to meet you as well. And your name, you're one of the deputies, ain't you?
Oh, yeah. Nelson Ward.
Nice to meet you, Deputy Ward. Come on in.
And she'll again pick up the front of her dress and lead the two of them into the parlor area.
Bill Tucker comes in. He still has his hat kind of to the side, kind of over his gun belt maybe, and walks in rather timidly. Doesn't want to. His boots are dusty. Doesn't want to make much of a scene. And kind of looks around at the nice place. It's obviously not something he is used to. He kind of starts off. I think he would be a little awkward, but then the fact that he's maybe had a sip of whiskey or two throughout a very long day, laying a friend to rest, could make itself known, and he says, "Oh, again, Miss Dunn, I apologize at interrupting you at this late hour, but well, you see here," and he kind of points to the tin badge on his left breast and says, "You know, this thing, this is a very heavy burden to take on. I saw you at the funeral in the back. If I can assume, and you know what they say about assuming, but if I can assume, you were probably just as ripped up about it than I was, and as ripped up about it as Nellie was here. I think that the town lost a good man a few days ago, but well, I'm here to put things back in order and do what I can. I heard that there's been some disturbance recently at your residence, or it kind of trails off."
Jessa just, but not even saying anything, acknowledging it. She just gestures to the seating that's been covered by Rosie.
And please sit down and don't worry about making things dirty. I made sure to assume for that.
And she'll take a seat in her usual chair, putting her hands on her lap and brushing some of her hair behind her ear.
Yes, it was deep sadness that was brought upon all of us, seeing Gregory Gunderson laid to rest. But I am very pleased that the two of you have finally made it up here. We have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, Nelson heads over, and he's been kind of just walking in, lackadaisical, keeping an eye out, more curious than anything, and just sits down when she says to. Still kind of looking around, only half watching Jezebel herself.
So, I guess Deputy Ward, Sheriff Tucker, you'd like to ask me about exactly what happened when I was accosted and almost murdered. Is that it?
Yeah, I want to do. I thought I saw there was a manners or something on here
Etiquette.
somewhere.
Yep, it's under influence.
I want to do it just for RP purposes.
Yep, go for it.
I don't think I need to bother.
If you want to do etiquette, I'm gonna actually.
You are acting just very nicely.
I don't want to roll hers to see.
Yeah, go ahead and see how well you're acting.
I'm kind of.
Oh
curious.
my
Oh my
god!
gosh! Well,
Jezebel's
see now I feel like Nelson has to do it.
For
Yeah,
fun.
for fun.
Yeah,
Let's do
see.
it.
Yeah, no, please do.
Alright. My poor boy. This is gonna be interesting. I'm pretty sure it's not great.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I'll let Nellie go first.
Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's still only like half paying attention to her. He hasn't taken his hat off or anything. His boots are definitely a little bit muddy, and as he's kind of sitting down, he sniffs a bit and kind of looks around and looks to Miss Dunn as she mentions the murder. Yeah, they really tried to kill you out there. From what I heard? In the mines, I think it was. Yeah?
Yeah. Jezebel, she's got one leg, kind of her ankles are crossed. She's got her hands on her lap, sitting up straight. And she looks very proper and even probably a little bit intimidating in her own place. And she stares at Deputy Ward, and her eyes slightly narrow.
Yes, indeed, but I'm sure you got all of that information from the paper that reported the next day on the attack on me. What I'm a little bit confused about, gentlemen, is that it took so long for you to get here.
Oh, yeah. It was a rough couple of days. I got shot in the head and all.
Really a rough couple days. You hear about one of your affluent members of the public getting attacked. A member that puts a lot of money into LeClaire and, the local economy, and someone who's one of the third largest mine owners. And you take 2 days to get up here to see if I'm all right. Is that correct, gentlemen?
Bill Tucker at this point kind of looks a little steely-eyed at Jezebel, and he turns to his left so it's clear not only that Nellie was shot in the head, but Bill Tucker had his ear knocked clean off by engine arrow, and very politely says, "Man, do you mind if I sit? It seems like this might be a long conversation."
Of course.
And he sits, and in the most polite manner possible, he does put his hat to the side, and he dabs at his brow with a handkerchief that he produces from his left breast pocket, just above his sheriff badge, and says, "You know what, Miss Dunn, you are absolutely correct. We should have been out here earlier. And as an affluent member of LeClaire society, you know what? You pay most of the taxes. You put the work into this place. You deserve top-notch treatment, man. What I got to tell you, unfortunately, is that we just, with one man gone and Gundy getting gunned down, we just hadn't had time to get out here. But we're here now. We're here to help. If you want to contribute to the town, listen, we're more than happy to build a building and name it after you, but we need funds to do that, and we need men with steel at their hips. So we're here now. Let us know what we can do for you. And if you want more law on the street, well, it's going to take dollars."
Well, of course, I very much appreciate you being here. Don't get me wrong, gentlemen. That has not been taken for granted. My concern is that even with people on the streets or anything like that, no message was sent up to me. I mean, I braved the journey just because Gregory Gunderson was such a staple of the city, and I braved to come down, but you imagine the terror that I was feeling when some of my miners attempted to kill me, and how I felt when no one even bothered to send a courier or a message just to see if I'm all right from the law. You gotta imagine how that's feeling, and I understand that you had the David boys to deal with. Trust me, I really do, and I appreciate everything that you've done for the city, and I'm deeply, deeply sorry for the demise that befell Gregory Gunderson. But again, you have to understand the fear and the disappointment that I've experienced when nothing was sent to me. It's been 2 days.
Like I said, Miss Dunn, you're the learned one here. You're the one that knows their letters. Me and Nellie here, we're just here to help. Why don't you tell me how to fix it? We'll take your direction, man.
So, if I'm ever attacked, I gotta make sure to send a letter. Is that it?
Smoke signals.
Nelson laughs heartily at that as well.
Jezebel. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about smoke signals after he's laughing, but then he kind of dours a bit after what happened and everything. But
Hey, Nelson and Bill, can you give me a streetwise roll?
let's see if my poor boy knows anything.
It's actually, yeah, Bill just got it. Right, so let me whisper something to you.
Does he have streetwise? Oh, yeah. Oh, he doesn't have streetwise. Yeah. Poor naive little boy.
Jeez.
44 years, son.
Oh boy.
Yeah. He's only been here for so long.
Maybe like 20.
Mm-hmm. There's a reason Gunderson called him boy.
Tucker says, I'll apologize, ma'am. I perhaps have been a little crash. Perhaps my manners have deserted me. Oh, it's been a long few days. I'm sure you can understand. Nellie here and I, we're getting a fresh start. We do help to make things right, but tell me about some other things that's been going on. We hear you got that Mexican outside. There's also been an engine up around these parts working.
Well, before I start talking about the people that I hired to help me, one thing I would like to ask you is the people that you asked to help you considering apparently you've been asking women to help you take out them David boys.
Oh,
She glares at the two of them.
do I know this or what?
No, you have
I
no
don't-
idea.
Nelson definitely didn't tell anybody.
Bill
I just
has
say,
no.
oh?
Yeah, he.
But
Oh,
he-
looks to Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson. Let me. He kind of. He's probably a little bit pale, but let's go ahead and see with his deception. But he's gonna shrug and kind of shake his head.
Yeah, go ahead and roll detect lies, Jessa, and Bill. Really.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Ah!
Yeah, he tries his best to make it look like. I don't know.
Well, whoever it was that went up and took out them David boys had decided to take my little niece Mary with them and decided that it was a good idea to have a woman shooting.
Columbo here.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she believes Nelly.
No, he's got some explaining to do. Oh no.
What a roll.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, Bill probably notices that he's like a little bit shifty-eyed. He steeled himself better than he usually can. Like he usually doesn't manage this well. But with Bill, I imagine he's used to him. He knows every little tell he has. Can't win a game of poker for nothing. And he's definitely a bit pallid. Sweat a little bit more than he was already.
So what happened, just so I can, in character, play it?
Well, you don't know exactly the context of what she's talking about, but it seems that she's saying that when Nelson went after the David boys, which he did and killed them all, right? That her niece was with him in some capacity. And although Nelson denies it, you can tell that she probably was.
Yeah, the story, if anyone ever did ask Nelson about the other person, like him and Lou probably kept it quiet completely. If he was asked, the most he would say is like, oh yeah, some fella from out in the mountains, helped us out.
Yeah, Lou has been completely missing since this. Nobody's seen him.
Yeah, so Nelson hasn't really told anyone that there was another person there, let alone...
Now, Bill would look to his right and say, "Oh, Mr. Ward here would never do such a dangerous and ill-conceived thing as bring a woman on a job like that. Would you, Nellie?"
Yeah, he pales a little bit more. Like, comprehending what Bill's saying. No, I would never do nothing like that.
Jessica cocks her head to the side.
I never mentioned a name. I just mentioned someone.
Did
Also-
he say a name? I didn't.
Oh, he said Nelly. Like Nelly would never do that.
No, Nelson, Nellie.
Nelson.
Nelson Ward.
Yeah, Nelson Ward would never do that. And she never actually said a name. She said whoever went up to take out the David boys.
Wasn't he in charge of the...
Yeah,
going up?
he's
Yeah.
the one
Yeah,
who took out.
She didn't know that, though.
Yeah.
Until now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so now
It's
she.
fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, makes sense.
Oh, good.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yep. You can see her lips purse. She'd believed Nelly at this point that he didn't know anything about it, but Bill kind of naming him, she see lips purse and she...
Well, according to my girl Mary, she decided to help lead a few people up to take out them David boys and ended up getting a horse out of it that belonged to him. You see, my girl's a liar.
Yeah, Nelson puts on the best kind of confused face he can. There was some old fella up there in the mountains that helped us out, but he wore a bandana the whole time, and can't quite say if it was a man or a lady. Didn't seem like it.
So may I just ask, you're fine with going with bandanaed folk to complete your share or your deputy duties? Am I correct in that?
Nelson nods. Well, he was quite kind and offered to help out.
Oh wow! So you're trusting people that you don't even know to do your job there, deputy.
Well, seeing as we had only just me and Lou going up there against the whole David, I
And
think
also a master individual, if I'm correct by what you say.
Yeah, Nelson kind of looks confused, like not sure where she's going with it.
She gets up and actually starts pacing, hands behind. I would appreciate your help, gentlemen, in maybe solving the person who attempted to attack me, but I just also like to keep things clear and straight. And I'm not accusing you. Of course not, Deputy. Maybe Mary was a little bit confused, but I just want to make sure that if a woman who happens to look like my niece ever offers to help out the law in any way, especially the fact that she's a woman and a fairly well-to-do one, you will deny her and never talk to her again. Am I clear?
Yeah, Nelson kind of looks to Bill as he has no idea if this is like, whether they should do that or not.
Bill looks at Nellie. Says, that's absolutely clear. We never bring somebody on a job like that. Somebody that's not trained. Somebody that can buckle under pressure. Somebody who might, he kind of looks to Nelson, cave to the gentle look of feminine eyes and make perhaps a poor decision.
Yeah, Nelson kind of, we wouldn't do nothing like that.
Good. Because we don't want any more dead whores now, do we?
Yeah, he kind of looks a bit sad about that, but doesn't really say anything. Yeah, it's a shame. Well, yeah. Kind of goes to say something, but doesn't really.
Jezebel sits back down. You can tell there's a little bit of satisfaction in the way that she sits, and she wiggles her shoulders as she sits back. So, on to the attack that happened 2 days ago. I'll give you the full description of what happened. So, we be hearing when I was here at my house, hearing that there was some comeuppance down at the mine. Apparently, they're trying to unionize. So, of course, I went down there with some of my men. The preacher was here as well. Well, the preacher was actually down there trying to help the gentleman see God and, well, the light and all that. Very much appreciate his help. We went down and I made sure that my gentlemen were very aware that I took care of them. I made sure that they had food on their tables and enough money to take care of their wives and their children and everything, and pay for whatever they needed, whores or whatnot. So they were very pleased when I offered them a little bit of a bonus. So of course they decided to venture on down to the Jewel. And afterwards, some of the gentlemen inside who apparently were planning an attack on me, I did not know at this time, they wanted me to come down there to discuss some things. I was fairly fearful, but thinking about the welfare of my workers and the income of my mine, I decided to indulge them and go down. When I went down, I tried to open up and discuss with the gentleman down there. Then, well, I tried to do the best that I could for them and their families, and that if they just kept on working, that I'd do right by them. A couple of them decided to listen and, take up my earlier offer. A few of them had expressed to me that a gentleman had come down talking about unionizing, got the workers all riled up. And then they said that if they killed me down in my own mine, that they'd get some sort of cash bonus because I disappear. And that's what they attempted to do, and I barely escaped with my life.
Bill Tucker's leaning forward His hat's still kind of at the side, maybe on one of the end tables, and just, oh, thank you, Miss Dunn. That's a harrowing tale. I'm so glad you made it out alive.
As am I.
Do you have any thoughts about who could be behind this?
Well, it has come to my attention that the Butler Company has been fairly adamant about getting my land, trying to purchase it off of me fairly aggressive. They never done anything like this. Now I'm not accusing anyone, but talking to some of the other miners, they have been equally as aggressive with them, and I don't want to say that they stoop to the levels of attempting to kill a person now, but it's got to be something to look into now, ain't it?
Yeah, I think it certainly is, Jezebel. I think that, or Miss Dunn, I think we got to look at all parties, all
all right.
motives.
You can call me Jezebel if you really want to. And she gives him a little bit of a smile.
Oh, shucks. Well, Miss Dunn, we'll keep it at that. This is a formal conversation now. Not forgetting his fact that his feathers are ruffled earlier on. Is there anybody else that you think could have had a motive to perhaps remove you from the mining scene of LeClaire? Because, well, you fall down one of them mine shafts, Miss Dunn, nobody's going to find you for a long, long time.
Well, it was obviously someone who came in and was spouting rhetoric to my miners. They had to be working for someone. I mean, someone with enough money to buy it once it went on public auction. Had to be one of the bigger companies or someone with money, because that's what would have happened. Though, due to some things that I've heard recently, personally, I think there might be two suspects. Of course, I'm not part of the law, but just my opinion on what I see. I think it's either someone maybe from the Butler Company, or maybe even Preston and Preston.
Oh man, we don't take a lady to a gunfight, but we certainly do listen to everything they have to say. Of the two sexes, I think their mind is, well, more equipped for details, if I don't mind saying. Preston and Preston?
Yes, they're, of course, one of the other larger companies. I'm sure you haven't heard about it. Maybe you'll hear it in tomorrow's paper. But Taggart Thompson, one of the other small mine owners, him and I had actually had a deal for me to purchase his mine after he had decided it wasn't worth the risk of keeping it. Unfortunately, we had plans to make a deal in the morning once he sobered up a little. I drafted everything out, sent one of my men out to speak to him, and he did not return home from the Preston party last night. And as far as I know, the only people who knew we were going to be there are the hosts.
Well, aren't we in just a pit of vipers?
Yeah, that sounds pretty bad. I
Well,
don't suppose you set anyone out to keep an eye on your miners? Someone you can trust, maybe, in case that fella comes back and, like you said, spouts rhetoric.
well, the person that I can trust is already there, and unfortunately, people can start sprouting rhetoric. We ain't gonna be firing guns at no one willy-nilly because they're trying to tell my miners to unionize. That would just be savage. But,
Yeah, but I suppose it'd be good, though, to know who it was.
no, I know who was there, but I actually was going to speak to them this evening, and she, again, a smile appears on her face. I actually have maybe a little bit of a lead, if you gentlemen will follow me. And she gets up, brushing off the front of her dress and picking it up slightly. I actually have the two miners who were in the mine at the time and decided to take me up on my offer, and they're currently down in the basement.
Bill Tucker kind of stands up and puts his hat back on his head and lead the way, Miss Dunn.
Perfect. There's just one thing I'd like to grab just for my own safety, if you don't mind. I just always get worried nowadays and want to make sure to carry something in case someone attempts to attack me. You understand, right?
Yeah, it's understandable you want to arm yourself, Miss Dunn.
She goes into, she kind of puts up a finger and just wait here. She actually kind of scale the stairs and go into her office. There she'll grab the bullwhip that's sitting down there, putting it on her hip and winding it up, coming back downstairs. And she pats the side of it and looks to the two, giving them a smile. All right, well, I think I'm amply prepared, just in case.
Yeah, Nelson looks kind of confused at this as he's standing up and kind of looking at. I don't suppose I mean, why a bullwhip? Seems a bit of an interesting choice.
Well, Deputy Ward, I am very adept in using this here, and I'm able to, if I'm close enough, whip the firearm off a man if I really want to. Break his hand in the process.
I suppose that's a good enough skill.
Oh, it's a
Good enough
great
for you to keep
skill.
along.
Bill just follows him down the hall and says, kind of shrugs. Or you could just shoot him in the head.
I could,
Yeah, that
but
too.
she looks back at them and this is just more fun. And she'll lead him outside and I guess probably the cellar's like 2 double doors and pull it open and she'll start making her way down the steps. They're just down here, gentlemen.
Give me 2 seconds.
It's also for you two later.
Yeah, Nelson's like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean it's more fun? What the fuck is this shit?
Whips, and she's taking us down to a dungeon.
Yeah, right.
Got some
What is
medical
this game?
Worried. He's like, they know what I did.
The OOC is mentioned with the IC here.
Mhm.
Divers of choking and sympathy.
All right, so Jessa takes them outside and leads them to the cellar. It's more or less a detached cellar, so the 2 doors are, hovering over the ground, and she pulls them up. Great, and here you are.
I'm guessing the miners are sitting down there.
Pulling them over right now. There are 2 miners there sitting down there. They're just, you see them talking to each other. They look up as the doors open above, and they're like, wow. Hear him say, well, golly, I'm glad somebody's came. Oh, man, back's killing me. I need a drink. And he sees who's walking in. Oh, it's the boss lady. Hey, boss lady. Can we leave now?
Oh, just after a little bit. I apologize to make you wait just so very long, but we just have a few questions for you. And she'll point up to the deputy and the sheriff as they make your way down. And she takes a seat actually in this chair and crosses her ankles and just kind of looks to the deputy and the sheriff. These are the gentlemen that were down in the mines. Probably the ones that at least overheard the most information about the ones spouting rhetoric.
These 2 guys look at each other, looking quite worried as you say that.
So Bill's coming down, and they can hear his big, heavy boot steps as he descends down to the cellar. And you see Jezebel walk in with her whip, and Bill Tucker, as he comes down, he always starts any interrogation or questioning as in the point of power, and kind of has his hat down over his eyes. You can just see his very manly mustache. And he adjusts his gun belt. Evening, gentlemen. I'm sorry to disturb you.
Oh, we
I'm
weren't
sure
doing
you have.
nothing. We were playing some cards, and oh boy, I tell you, I've just got the shakes. I had so much to drink yesterday, thanks to the Miss Lady. Lots of drinks down to Jewel, and I'm feeling might peaked today, I must say. I didn't have to swing. He just is going on and on and on.
Tucker will interrupt him. So are you saying that Miss Jezebel Dunn here brought us two drunkards and unreliable witnesses, or are you going to sit straight in your chair and talk to the law? Make your choice.
He just look. Well, I'd much rather just go, but sure, I'll talk to you.
Yeah, Nelson is, by this point, he's kind of saddled up alongside Bill, and he's kind of taken in the basement and kind of notices Bill's tone a bit more as he's addressing the man, and kind of stands a bit straighter and kind of looks him over.
Jezebel chimes in quick.
Please, gentlemen, pretend the lady is not here while you do your investigation.
Yeah. I ain't going to pretend you're not here, ma'am. You are here, and you're a very, as you said yourself, an affluent, important member of this community. I think you should be involved.
Oh, I want to be involved, but if you plan on using your very talented investigation techniques, don't feel the need to hold back, please and thank you.
Ma'am, there's nothing, as you would say, complex about interrogating a couple of drunk fools. But unfortunately, what we have here is a couple of drunk fools. I really hope this is not going to discount their testimony.
We'll see.
The other man said, "Well, I'm not drunk right now. I'd like to be. You got something to drink?"
No.
Nelson kind of looks towards the one pocket that Bill has his flask in, and then kind of looks back to the man, kind of.
Well, what do you need to know, Sheriff? I tell you, I thought I told Miss Jessa everything I knew.
Tell me what happened down the mine, sir. We'll let you go. Maybe I'll see you at the Jewel later. Have one with you, huh?
Oh, that
Softens up a little bit.
that sounds pretty nice. Well, you see, there's this another miner named Dirty Jim, they called him. Well, he came to us and said that we should unionize. We get more pay and better conditions. This 12 hours in the mine is rough on my back, so I said, yeah. And, well, we were fixing to unionize, and then Dirty Jim said, well, maybe Jess will come down into the mines and they'll have a talking to herself. I wasn't going to do any talking. I was just going to stand there, hope I got, another couple hours off work, and 'cause my back is fire. Well, she come down, and Dirty Jim said he wanted to take a shotgun to her. I was mighty surprised. I didn't know what to think. I was scared of Dirty Jim. And there's this other feller I'd never met before. He had a slick mustache, black as coal. And, I don't know where he came from, but he was angry cuss, boy. Whew. And I was just standing there, and then Jessa said, hey, you guys go to Jew on me and have some drinks. And I said, that's mighty fine. I don't have to work either, swing a hammer. I'm out of here. And that's when me and John, we skedaddled. That's all I know.
Gotta do is detect lies on that.
Sure, if you want, yeah.
I suppose Nelson would make the attempt as well, I guess.
And I'm gonna let Nelson say what he.
He doesn't particularly have much here. He's kind of just taking everything in, kind of watching Bill, waiting to see what he says.
Oh.
Poor little Nelson.
Yeah, I mean, I think mostly those that rolled above 11, you think he's being honest. You suspect he doesn't have much ability in telling a lie.
Well, hey, listen, man. I know the first thing you want to do is get out of this here cellar and go up and have yourself a few cold ones. How did you know this dirty Jim? You said you were scared of him. Why are you scared of this boy?
Well, he's ornery. He worked at the mine too, but he was a mean, and one man got in a fight with him, and he just threw him down a hole in the mine, and that man was gone. He was deader than doornail.
But he's a murderer, and he continued to work right alongside of you?
Well, nobody said nothing, because we figured we'd be in the hole next.
Man, I'll tell you what, Mr. Johnson, you do have a hard job. I feel sorry for you from time to time. So why do you think he would say to unionize?
Well, I don't know. Maybe he wanted a union. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not much for planning type. I just, I live my life day by day and try to do best I can on a bad back and bad knee and bad hip, bad shoulder. Know how it is when you swing the pick for a living, see, sir.
I never had to do that, Mr. Johnson. So tell me this: where we can find this dirty Jim?
Oh, I don't know. We skedaddled off to the Jewel. I've never seen Dirty Jim since. It's only been a couple days, of course, but he wasn't at work yesterday.
Bill kind of looks at Nellie.
Yeah, Nelson kind of looks to him, kind of tapping his chin, his hand on it, and kind of looks to the man again. And I don't suppose you know where he lives or nothing.
Oh, there's a little mining camp outside of the Miss Dunn's mine where most of us live. He wasn't there, and actually 2 others weren't there either. The ones that stayed behind, when Miss Dunn said we could go to the Jewel, they stayed there. Dirty Jim stayed there. Then the slick fella stayed there. I ain't seen none of them since.
Nelson kind of turns to Jezebel. I don't suppose you have any idea where they might have gone.
Jezebel, she shakes her head. No, like I said, I barely escaped with my life. I'm sure once they knew the jig was up and they couldn't get me, that they ran off. Maybe they're still out there somewhere.
And they were still in there when you left?
As far as I knew, yeah, I turned tail and ran.
Yeah, that's an attempt to attack lives. Poor boy.
Oh yeah, so tell me how to roll that.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, my boy!
Damn!
He suddenly has like this rousing suspicion.
You can go ahead and do it in public. I don't think anybody's under any
Yeah, it
false
doesn't matter.
pretenses that you're telling the truth.
Yeah.
Where's my...
Deception is under, where is it?
Oh shit.
Bill's on point. Nelson's starting to learn.
Yeah!
That Jezebel's a monster.
Yeah, she doesn't know.
Oh god, cold-blooded.
Well, Nellie, I think what we got here is a case of a missing person. The person we think is responsible, Jezebel, they either fled town or they're at the bottom of that mine.
Mm-mm. And she shakes her head. No. Well, let me just tell you that, yes, maybe the gentleman that was responsible for attempting to kill me has fled town, but the person that asked him to kill me is still out there.
I'm listening, but does Mr. Smith and Mr. Johnson need to stay here for this part?
Depends. She gets up from her chair and she walks towards them, standing a little bit to the side of Nellie, but a little bit ahead of her. And she looks to John and David. I would just like to know. So it was just the gentleman there with the thick mustache who was spouting rhetoric about you gentlemen unionizing. There was no one else who decided to leave in the middle of it.
They look at each other. Yeah, I believe so. That's the boy who was talking about unionizing. Well, Dirty Jim mostly brought it to us, but I think the slick fella was the one telling him. And the slick fella, he was definitely the one who was bringing up drawing steel on you, ma'am.
Hmm. Just a question, because I know we searched searched them afterwards. Did we find anything?
Nah, not really.
Darn. She furrows a brow. It'll be really helpful if you could remember anything. Well, looks like it was just that mustachioed gentleman, but obvious he was working with someone else. You sure you two gentlemen don't know anything else? Not even anything else that might get you a little bit of extra jewel time?
They look at each other. They're considering what to say. One's like, well, like, what's the scope of what you want to know? I've got some secrets.
Are they pertaining to you, or are they pertaining to me being shot at him?
Oh, I don't think it has much to do with you being shot. But I'm fixing to go to the doctor because I got this boil. And boy, it just will not go away.
John, as much as I appreciate hearing about your boil, I very much is obvious, I don't care. And I'd actually enjoy it if the two of you would vacate my cellar as you're stinking it up.
They look at, well, okay, I'm gonna go to the doc real quick. I'll be at work in the morning, I promise. I don't think the boy is gonna, it's right. And he just starts to turn around.
Yeah, just go, please.
Oh, alright. Come on, David, let's get. And they tip their hats to everyone and walk up the stairs.
Nelson returns it and kind of just watches them head out. Well, you said you knew who it was, Miss Dunn? That I think they said mustachio fella?
Saw the mustachioed fella, but I don't know who he is. But, like I said, again, it would take considerable wealth for someone to purchase a mine off of public auction. Therefore, it had to be someone who had money. So it must be someone within the town who could buy my mine and had the funds.
So, out of character, Preston, who's the other third?
So they're the three biggest are so Preston's the biggest, Butler's the second. Jezebel is kind of tied with this other kind of conglomeration of mines, which are held with bonds from people in Denver. They're basically small mine owners that have kind of banded together to not get bought out by bigger ones. But you're not sure who owns that because it's a publicly traded thing.
Mm-hmm. So Bill Tucker's mine's either going to Butler or Preston.
Yeah,
Preston.
probably, yeah.
Since
Those would be the obvious, too.
Yeah.
And Butler Company has a very bad reputation. There are rumors that the head of Butler, and I'm totally spacing his first name, lost the mine in a game of cards a couple years back, and then killed everybody at the table. That was like the rumor, but it was never substantiated.
Yeah, Nelson kind of turns to Bill. Well, I suppose the next thing to do is, look into it, see if we can find any trail of where those fellas went, see if they know this person themselves.
I'd just like to, my apologies, interject here, but I think maybe you should also be looking to the disappearance of Mr. Thompson, considering he's missing and there might be a little bit of a time.
Excuse me.
Bless you there, Mr. Tucker.
It's a dusty basement.
I understand. I need to get Rose to clean it. She's useless tits sometimes. But Mr. Thompson, is missing at the moment. And though I do very much appreciate you looking into the gentleman who attempted to attack me, I think the life of another mine owner might be a little bit more important because I'm alive.
Yeah, I suppose. We best kind of try and figure out. Yeah, he seems to think on it for a moment. What do you think, Bill? Should we investigate him? See about this Thompson fella?
Yeah, well, I don't have any reason to doubt the Lady Dunn here. Like she does say, she is a very affluent member of our society, and I suspect that, well, Miss Dunn, you're going to have our full attention in this matter.
Though there's one other thing that I would, again, like to interject. I didn't want to say it around them miners and everything, but I know for a fact that you ain't going to be finding Dirty Jim or any of those other folk that were down the mine.
Oh?
Couple of gentlemen who were with me as they fired upon us decided to take it upon themselves to take them out.
And Nelson kind of turns to Tucker to see like his opinion on that. Not really sure what to make of it.
Well, I think he'll take the other, detect lies role and probably believe what she says.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Miss Dunn. Well, that'll save us some time. Like I said, we're woefully undermanned for a town this size, and if we want to grow further, you know what I say, we need more deputies, we need more time, we need more dollars.
Of course. I've always thought about investing more into the town, having more buildings erected, and paying a little bit more in taxes in order to get more law enforcement. Are you trying to vie for the new position of sheriff?
Trying to vie. Unfortunately, Miss Dunn, this was bestowed upon me by Sheriff Gunderson and the people of this town. I never asked to be sheriff, but here I am with this badge on my lapel.
And you're the best person for it.
Well, that remains to be seen. This badge comes with a legacy of, well, I would say that the wearer of this badge doesn't tend to live too long.
Well, I suppose in that case, it's probably good it went to you and not me. He has kind of a half smile on his face, kind of still a bit dour about the whole thing.
What is it, the king's hand or whatever it is?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you're willing to investigate this for me, I'm happy to support both you as sheriff and put more support into the sheriff's office. Are you understood?
Can I do like an empathy roll or something and see about how ambitious she is? Because I think Bill might want to play her and the lady who owns the jewel, Kate, off each other.
Mm-hmm. You can just do a let's see. I've been using detect lies for that kind of thing. I might need to add a skill.
Just to try and obscure it.
Sure. Just do another tech lies or deception.
Fucking goddamn ice queen over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't appear at all very ambitious. That she's willing to help out the sheriff as long as she's helped out, amicable trade.
Jesus.
Christ. She's a fearful woman.
What a roll.
Yeah.
Now, he will say that that there's big things going on in LeClaire and what's her name? I forget what her name is.
Red Kate.
Kate, the owner of the jewels, putting up a new building, and if you would be involved in that project, I'm sure that it'd be much appreciated. And hey, I'm willing to get your name out there, Miss Dunn. You've been nothing but helpful to us.
Well, I very much appreciate that, Sheriff. But Of course, I prefer to own all of my own businesses, and I'm happy to erect more businesses within the Clare to draw. Maybe even help with the railroad that's coming in.
Ah, yes, ma'am. Well, keep that in mind now. I'll mention it next time I have a meeting with the mayor.
Oh, well, if you'd like, which would be very helpful to me if you get me that meeting with the mayor. I mean, I'd very much like to speak to him. I know he's a busy individual, but I know you probably have his ear real well.
I've been meeting with the mayor more than I would like recently, unfortunately, Miss Dunn, and it has been unpleasant business, but as they say, there's a season for everything, and I do suppose that this season of violence and conflicts will come to an end soon, and LeClaire will return to prosperity. So, indeed, Miss Dunn, I'll let him know that you'd be willing to meet with him, and I think anybody that's willing to fund the railroad, well, you'll have the mayor's ear.
Thank you very much, Sheriff Tucker. Now, on to pressing business. I know Mr. Thompson went missing between the Preston party and his mine. And as far as I know, I don't want to assume that the only people who knew he was going to be at Preston were the Prestons. I'd suggest either, it's just me, either maybe taking a look, seeing if maybe he was dumped in his own mines and something very grotesque, or maybe he was he disappeared off the road on his way back. He never made it back, according to his own people. I don't know if looking in between or something, but that's your jurisdiction. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'm just going to offer my assistance based on my experience within the field of owning a mine and the business.
Yeah, I suppose we'll have to try and track him down. Hopefully it goes all right.
Hey, do we have any other deputies?
Not technically. I mean, it would make sense that.
What's
the
one that TD?
Yeah, Lou and Arthur, Sim and TD's guys. Those are the guys that have helped you, but they're not officially deputies.
Yeah, we need to recruit him. We need Lou. Oh, man. We just can't get in another gunfight and both die, because it'll be a bad time.
All right.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, no, he'll just basically say all right, and yeah, we'll get around to it, and we'll make it our top priority, and shoot a sideways glance at Nellie, being like, two of us cannot take care of engines, buffalo soldiers, mine imploding, murder plots, etc.
Yeah, Nelson kind of gives back a very concerned gaze, like, oh my god, we have so much on our plate.
Just a chime. Know that we discussed it earlier, but I have a fairly personal investment in seeing Mr. Thompson service again. I would either request maybe if either this evening or maybe tomorrow, just as the trail's going cold and he might be dead in the morning. You either take me with you or my boy Maxwell.
Well, I suppose, but like you said before, we shouldn't be bringing ladies along. I suppose we'll have to. Maybe that Maxwell fella, if he's a good shot, I suppose.
I feel like I might be a better shot than Maxwell, but
I don't know.
if you want the Mexican at your back,
We don't want a Mexican, and we don't want a lady at our back either.
I
Well,
would
I can't say I've ever had a Mexican at my back, so.
I would request, based on how we're going to be working together, that at least one of us join you.
Nelson kind of looks to Bill on that.
Well, Miss Dunn, tonight's late. We'll get to it first thing in the morning. We'll make it our top priority. But like you said, I mean, this trail between Preston, Gullies, Deep Mine, I don't want any harm to come to you. We'll get to it first thing in the morning, I promise.
She purses her lips. All right, but hopefully he ain't dead by the morning.
Hopefully not. But I tell you what, we're not going to find him in the middle of the night, especially with these engines about.
Yeah, that's a good point. You never know when they could pop out.
Never know.
Oh, I did want to mention there, Sharon. I originally did have just doing side projects before all this went down. One of them engines, Crow. He had been doing some odd jobs outside my house. But I'll make sure to keep an eye out for him if I see him.
Yeah, that'd be good. Don't want him getting up to anything without us knowing about it.
No. I'm assuming he's probably with him and you can either interrogate him or string him up or both. I have no attachments.
Nelson just nods.
Bill shrugs. Don't make much difference to me, Miss Dunn. At this point, I'm done caring.
Again, I'm deeply sorry about Gregory Gunderson. It was very much a tragedy.
Yeah, Nelson's quiet to the back a bit. Looks very ready to head out. Head a bit low at the mention of Gunderson again.
Outside, the crickets are chirping.
And Jezebel leads them both out of the cellar, locks it behind the two. Well, I'm glad both of you made it up here. Though, I would request next time, hopefully it doesn't happen, but if I am attacked, that the response is maybe a little bit quicker.
Nelson smiles. Yeah, hopefully. I don't think we'll have any issues with getting shot in the head and attacked by engines that soon again. Right, Bill? And he kind of nudges him.
I don't know. LeClaire seems to be a powder keg at the moment. But Miss Dunn, if you know a few able-bodied men and women, or not men,
No women.
a few able-bodied men, we could sure use some help.
Well, if I can find some, I'll make sure to send him your way. And if you have time, Bill, if you want to come back up here and maybe check in, see if the mayor's available to speak, I would very much appreciate that.
I'm sure I'll be in touch with him soon. I'll relay your message, Miss Dunn. It was a pleasure. I'm sorry it was under these circumstances.
Hopefully next time the circumstances are better.
Indeed.
She smiles and, well, you two can find your way back to the front of the building. See you later just now. I am fairly tired. I should probably retire by now. She gives a wave to the both of them and heads back inside.
Nelson just gives a nod. Good night, ma'am.
Good night.
As Jessa heads back inside, the two of you stand in the front of the manor. Let me switch this over a bit.
Explosions. Those 10 explode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it up.
You are getting ready to get it back on your horses, and somebody creeps out the door, and you see it's a woman dressed in basically an apron. She's a bit heavy set. She walks over to the both of you, and she's, one of you is Nelson, is that right?
Yeah, Nelson kind of looks to Bill and then back to her. Yeah.
Sh-
I'm Nelson.
Oh, great. She walks over and passes you a note.
Yeah, Nelson
Piece
looks
of
a bit
paper
confused.
that's crumbled up, kind of.
Kind of takes it. What's this?
I'm just supposed to give it to you.
Oh, all right. He kind of pulls it open and starts looking at it. Thank you, I suppose.
As you're saying that, she's already turned around and heading back inside. I'm going to give this to you. Okay,
Oh, no.
you see a handout now. You should see one.
Oh,
It's under H&H handouts, so should say note to Nellie.
I see. Oh no! Oh shit!
I'll give you.
If only she had given me this sooner.
I'll give you a few moments to
Yeah, I'm looking
process
over it now.
what you're gonna do.
Fucking hell! Poor Nelson is like, what the fuck?
So
Yeah,
crap.
Bill as Bill kind of sees Nelson reading this, his face is like curious and like, oh, it's and then it kind of turns fairly sour and confused and like, what? And kind of looking. Let me see.
Nellie, what's going on there? You look. Why is a ghost? What happened? I got some indigestion.
Oh well, fuck, you know. Well, I don't suppose you could run my horse back, could you?
I could not until you tell me the truth about what's going on, Nellie. The past 2 days have been far beyond anything I've seen for a low 10 years.
Yeah, well.
I'm about to leave you here.
Oh well, I mean, I'd be leaving pretty quick. I just need to check in with something. A friend.
I want to detect lies.
Yeah,
He's.
I mean,
Well, yeah. I mean, he is kind of bullshitting. He's not entirely. Let's see.
Oh, he's obviously trying to get rid of me.
yes, definitely. I mean, well, go ahead and roll your detect lies, but
Well, all right.
Mm.
All right,
Yeah,
boy.
Yeah, just trust me, Bill. It'll be no problem.
Listen, just because a heavy-set maid makes eyes at you, don't mean you got to run off with her.
Yeah, Nelson kind of looks back towards Rosie and kind of thinks for a second. Well, not her, Bill. Something else. Just if you could run my horse back, I'll be back and probably catch up with you pretty quick.
All right. Be careful. No
Yeah,
bullet
of
holes,
course.
no venereal disease.
I'll try. Though I don't think it would really. No, never mind. I'll see you in a minute, Bill.
He hops up on his horse and says, "Remember what I told you? Already down, deputy." And kind of rides off into the night.
Yeah, Nelson kind of tips his hat, Bill, kind of thanking the gods that he went with it, and he'll kind of take a look around, make sure no one's watching, and head towards the stables.
mm-hmm. Here, give me a sec.
Oh my fucking god! What has this poor boy gotten into? Oh fucking hell!
Alright. Hold on.
Shit! Oh, he's too nice. He's too good for his own good.
Nelson, you walk over towards the stables. Inside you hear someone talking to each other. Ah, mommy, you're so fine. Where are you going? And you see Maxwell standing there laughing and Winifred kind of backing away from him.
Yeah,
And you see there there's basically stalls with various horses sitting there.
Yeah, Nelson kind of waits. Does it look like they're heading off in any direction, or like they're just hanging around?
He's kind of cornering her into a stall in the back of the barn.
Yeah, he'll kind of let that happen while he goes to the place he's looking for.
Okay, go ahead and roll stealth.
Okay, sure. How stealthy is my boy? Hopefully he's not the worst thing in the world. He's not.
Why don't you take me with you?
Hey,
Holy
it's a
shit!
15.
All right, let's see
I
here.
can't believe it. He's
I would've
actually
wrecked
not
these
the
fools.
worst thing ever.
I would have wrecked Mexicans.
He is that good of a stealth fuck. No.
All right. So yeah, Ty goes to defender.
Yay!
So you are creeping over towards the stall. You see the one that was indicated in the note. What do you do?
Yeah, he kind of heads up, very quiet. Not like sneaking up on the horse or anything, but like heads up to it, kind of very kindly, pats his head and pets it a bit, and grabs. I assume there's a saddle either on it or with it.
There's a saddle next to it. It's not on it.
Yeah, he'll set the saddle up, and then, all right, Ladybug, it's good to meet you. I'm Nelson, and he'll just go to quietly, or well, as quietly as he can attempt to ride it on out.
Yeah, as you are fiddling
Or
around,
whichever exit
Yeah.
Maxwell's not by.
you're fiddling around and you see like the Mexican walking. What are you doing?
Oh, hello. I'm Nelson. You were...
He puts his hand on his gun. What are you doing riding that horse? Get off!
Yeah, Nelson. Oh, well, I'm supposed to be taking it back down to town. He shows Maxwell the actual note of ownership. Mary sent me to come get it.
He just looks at the note and... You think I read English?
Well, I suppose. I can't say I've ever met a Mexican before.
Well, we go to the boss lady and see what she says, huh? Come on. Get off. If you own it, then you take it later. We'll see what Jessa says, huh?
What do you mean? I was sent to get the horse. I'm supposed to be heading it down to the town for now.
What you talking about, man? Come on, let's go talk to Aunt Jessa, huh?
Jessa went to bed. She said not to disturb her. Yeah, that was definitely...
He just shakes. No, she told me very specifically. Her only. She gives the commands. We'll see what she says. If she says okay, you go. Huh?
Well, Maxwell, was it? I think that's what she called you. I mean, she was in quite a mood, if you know what I'm saying. I really don't know if you want to go up there, given how she was with that bullwhip down there by the miners. I mean, really, I'm thinking about you in this, and I wouldn't want to see you having any trouble for it. Can I go ahead and roll persuade?
That's more like a deception roll.
Well, I mean, is it?
Yeah.
I mean, she is genuinely like a horrifying thing.
Yeah, though, you remember the orders. that she
Yeah,
gave.
Maxwell has very specific orders not to take orders from other people.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, he's more so trying to say, hey, are you sure you want to do this? But, yeah. Let's see.
Come on, exploding dice be with you.
It's a 13.
Bless you, Nelson. Please don't deal with the wrath of Jessica.
Maxwell might not be that good. Let's see.
Oh.
Ah,
Holy shit, Maxwell.
just-
He has one
Yeah.
die and he got fucking all the explosions.
yeah, he just shake. No, man.
these evil motherfuckers.
She telling me what to do. You.
She tell me what to do.
I'm sorry, buddy. Get off. Come on.
Why didn't you bring me along?
Well, he didn't know. Nelson kind of looks the man over. Listen, fella. I'm supposed to be taking this horse down to town, right? I mean, it's that simple. I've got the note. It's not my fault you can't read. Now, I don't suppose your lady friend can. He kind of motions over to the other woman.
Hombre, what are you doing here? This is not your property. If it is, just say you go, you go.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I've got the note right here. It's not my fault you can't read, fella.
It's not my fault that you
Now, do you
can't
wanna-
understand. You're making me very mad, hombre. Jesse's gonna be mad at me if I don't take you to the house now. We go to the house, you say to Jessa, I have the note, she read the note, she let you go. Otherwise, no, you're stealing the horse.
Nelson actually looks pretty irritated at this point, and he'll kind of look the man over. Maxwell, now, you know what I do in town, right?
Doesn't matter, man. This is not your horse. Get off horse now.
Well, you see, I'm the deputy, Maxwell. Now, I don't suppose you want to go down to jail, do you?
Listen, buddy. It doesn't matter if you're the deputy or not. This is not yours. You're stealing as a deputy, huh?
Nelson kind of pinches his brow at that. Listen, I'm not stealing nothing. I got the note of ownership right here.
Then why you not go to
And-
Jessa first, huh? She say okay, it's fine. You go. 5 minutes.
I've already gone over all this. Now, sir, I'd advise you to just continue on, do your business, and I'll be heading out with the horse, as I'm supposed to.
No way, hombre. You get off that horse now. Puts his hand on his gun.
Now, sir, I would advise you not to pull your gun on me. I'm a deputy. I'm telling you this for my own good and yours.
It looks like you're a horse thief to me, man.
And it looks like I'm doing lawful work. Taking a horse that by all means belongs to me according to this note that you can't fucking read.
Then you go to
So, sir-
go to Jessa. She say you take the horse, you can take the horse. It's that simple. Why you not want to go to the house and ask her, huh? I say because that letter's bullshit. Funka chingate, boy.
I didn't understand the last bit.
Chingate, I think it means fuck you.
Oh, man. Yeah, Nelson's not sure how to deal with this very angry Mexican, and he'll head over. Is Winifred still there, I assume?
You don't see her. She might be in the stall.
Yeah, he'll step over by there.
So you're not on the horse, is that correct?
Oh, he wasn't
Okay,
in the first
okay,
place.
that's
Yeah.
fine.
He was just getting it all saddled up. And he'll step over to there. Ma'am?
She's sitting in the corner. Her blouse is undone. She just looks up at you.
Are you all right, ma'am?
I'm fine. As you're doing this,
There's-
Maxwell's going back over to the stall. He's like closing the gate and locking it up.
Yeah, Nelson kind of, his brain like fucking plowing away in that little tiny space it has. Ma'am, he didn't do nothing to you, did he?
She looks down.
You can tell me, I'm the deputy.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Well, I don't suppose you can read, can you?
She shakes her head.
No, I assume.
Yeah, she shakes her head no.
Yeah, Nelson kind of turns to Maxwell. Kind of walks back over to him. Sir, is that woman all right there?
You said that to Maxwell?
Maxwell, yeah.
See? She fine? Are you gonna leave now, man? You wanna go to the big house and talk to Miss Jessa?
Yeah, well, first I'd like to ask you a question, sir. You didn't do nothing, did you?
Not yet,
He has
boy.
a very serious look on his face.
Not yet? Maybe later, huh?
Yeah, Nelson kind of looks him over. Now, sir, does your master think that you should be doing this? Does she know about all this?
What's it matter to you, man?
Well, I think it matters a lot, sir.
Mine?
Would she be too happy with you? Kind of looks to Winifred. And causing problems with one of her other workers?
No problems. No problems.
Well, I mean, it certainly looks like a problem. She looks quite disturbed to me.
The only problem is that you came in here wanting to steal a horse, I think, huh? And I got you. And now you're trying to... What is they call it? Place blame on me, huh? Oh, Winnie there.
I
She's
don't
my...
think so, sir.
She's my woman. Right. And she slowly nods.
Well, sir, I don't know. By all means. From what I see, a deputy has walked into this stable to get something that he has a note for, a note of ownership, and came across a man assaulting a young woman in one of the stalls.
Did she say she's being assaulted, huh? I heard her not say that. Maybe I do not understand English so well, huh? She said nothing like that, huh?
Yeah, well, sir, I don't know. If something were to happen and some Mexican in town, working out here, way away from town, were to draw steel on deputy over something like this, because he was caught doing something he shouldn't have been, I'd wonder how that would go for you.
Go just fine for me, because you would be dead if I drew steel, hombre.
Nelson smiles. You really think so?
See?
And how exactly would your master take to you killing one of the town's deputies, one of the last two? Well, the last one. Out on her own property.
He kind of smiles. I don't know, man. Maybe she wouldn't know.
Yeah, well, I think she and the sheriff just down the road would hear the gunshots. And be here right quick.
Well, maybe, man. Maybe not. Maybe you end up in a pig farm. Nice chewy treat.
Yeah, you think, really, that the sheriff wouldn't be here on his horse, only just so far away, that quick? Well, I think it'd be done with. Because only you are out here with steel, huh? So let me tell you this. How about you quit your whining about going to see Miss Jessa? Because I already have this all figured out. You let me get my damn horse, and you don't have any more problems, sir.
Boy, I don't think you're too smart, huh? You want this horse? Go to Jessa. You want to tell Jessa that I did something to this woman? Do it. She might be irritated at me. But when she knows you tried to take this horse, especially after earlier today. No, I think not.
Yeah, well, I think when she sees this note, things will clear up pretty quick.
Well, let's go find out. Let's go. Come on.
Well, I don't think I need to. Because as far as I see it, you lose in all situations. So if I take that horse, as I'm supposed to, and ride on out, and you try anything on me, you're going to get killed. By me or the sheriff. And if not, you'll be reprimanded by your master.
I think I get a bounty for
it's
killing
lose-lose.
a horse thief, is what I think.
You say that, but everybody else can read, whether you can or
Well,
not.
if you're dead and I...
And I have people to vouch for me.
Do you? If you take that horse, hombre, and even if that note tells what you say it tells, I'll just eat it. Then there'll be no note. Only you on top of the horse dead.
Yeah, well, I'd love to see how that goes for you, sir. Because one way or another, I'm leaving with the damn horse I came for.
He takes a deep breath. Takes a step back. You ready then, hombre? You're not leaving.
Yeah, well, if you wish to draw steel, that's you that did it.
He rolls his shoulders. Takes his hand and brushes his thumb and his pointer finger against his mustache. Alright, hombre. Not gonna go for a while for you.
Yeah, the moment Nelson's basically waiting for the moment that he goes for his gun, and then he'll go for his.
Hold on one sec. This took a turn.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting
Yeah.
it.
I'm so excited right
he
now.
is like unpersuadable, just impossible fellow.
Well, I
man.
mean, it was
love
just, it
Max.
really is just based on previous roleplay that's happened.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I love this.
Oh man.
I'm so excited.
Okay. Whew. I'm almost like a little nervous.
I know, right?
Oh my
I'm
God.
excited.
I'm so
like all
excited
giddy.
right now.
This
I'm
is
like,
really good.
I'm so divided on what
This is
who I
like the
want to
biggest
win.
fucking twist we've seen yet, I think. Like Maxwell versus Nelson, the thing that I never
No,
thought was
not at all.
ever going to happen.
Amazing.
Kill him.
This is
Kill him
so
now.
good. This will create so much good plot. Do it.
I know.
I want you to kill him.
This is gonna break everything.
It is. It's gonna break everything, and I'm so excited.
I know, right?
I'm so
Oh,
happy
man.
right now.
And are we left with no deputy?
Or
man.
I'm gonna be left with no Maxwell. But he did try to
you're
assault
literally
Winnie.
right in front of each other, so...
I'm so excited.
You guys have to just it'll be
Draw.
a one-shot fight.
yeah, it's a draw, definitely.
Definitely.
You gotta do like the back-to-back thing and like walk
No,
feet.
no.
No, he's a
Screw
Max.
that.
I don't think he's gonna
I want my
everything he's done up
duel.
to this point. He is
I
just
want my
lawless.
duel. I want my duel fantasy.
It is a duel. You just draw your weapon and shoot.
Mhm.
Yeah, they both
God, I'm
kind of
so
just took
excited.
stance already.
Okay, you guys are at close range. I don't wanna. I'm just trying to.
Good
I
music.
need the hex. So that's what I need. Sorry, I'm woefully unprepared for this. Obviously.
It's okay.
You are?
I mean,
I just figured this was going to happen. I don't know what the note
I
was
didn't.
about.
I mean, I didn't know what the note would entail. I knew what the note said, but I didn't know what. Right.
yeah, Nelson wasn't expecting there to be people here, but then, yeah.
Oh, that's too big.
I'm too far away by now. I can't eat.
I
Even
can
my-
hear the gunshot at least. I'm close enough to
I
that.
might be able to hear a gunshot, but I'm not going to be able to get back to help.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, not back to help, but I mean, he'll
You guys
definitely
have
hear
been
it. I mean,
We're
bullshit.
both, yeah,
So
we're
long.
both gonna get in there, but at the very
yeah, I
end.
can't imagine it's
just
going to take
he's
him long. He's on a horse. But definitely it'll be too late one way or another.
I thought neither of you were on the horse.
No, I mean, Bill.
Oh, Bill.
Bill went to go off on his horse, so I imagine he's going to...
Jessa and Bill will show up
I mean,
at the
if I
exact same
heard
time.
gunshots,
Just,
if I heard gunshots, I could like tell back around, but I'm still too far away.
Rail it,
You
yeah.
guys, you guys bullshitted for so long.
I can't
Yeah, I
wait.
know. I was like,
Just
holy
gone in
shit,
there.
he's
I know,
not
Jess
fucking
is the
flinching
best.
on this.
This is
Just
amazing.
gotta
I was like, Nelson's like, hey, come on, this is going to give you shit one way or another.
Just gotta
Like,
shoot his
no matter
face.
what you do.
Just,
Maxwell's
just,
so
a, Me- just a Mexican. Just shoot him.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is Nelson, like, talking to him, trying to convinced himself, like, oh yeah, there's nothing to fucking worry about. He can't do shit.
I love her like, well, we'll see if we show her the note. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Show her the note.
Matt likes combat now, by the way.
I do. I'm so excited.
Yes, because you're not poisoned by X.
Potentially very, very true.
Yeah, it is true.
It was my own feelings,
Because
but I mean, certain systems
does-
I like.
Does this combat enhance the narrative or detract? It enhances. So
That's good
continue.
shit.
We talked about that. But anyway,
Yes.
All right, so let me get the right music playing here.
Yeah, we need some, like, epic orchestral Western scores.
All right. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is roll for initiative.
All right. Initiative, you
Yep,
said? Yeah.
mhm.
All right, let's see, Nelson. How quick are you? Please be very quick, boy. No, he's not very quick.
All right. So Maxwell gets the opportunity to do whatever he's gonna do first.
He was waiting for him anyway, makes sense.
What's his athletics, real quick? Yeah, he's gonna just draw his pistol. He draws it actually fairly slowly, but he gets it out before you do, or just, I mean, we're talking about split seconds, right? But
Yeah. And of course Nelson draws his.
Now, you can do it. So there's two, just to give you kind of a heads up, right? There's a couple different ways you can do it. You can do it the slow way, which is 2 AP, or you can do it the fast way, which is 1 AP, but you have to make an athletics roll. So basically, if you drew it faster, you would be able to shoot first. But if you draw it slower, you spend 2 AP and you don't even get your gun out.
And what's the roll to do
It's
it
athletics. You need an 11.
Oh, I don't think he has athletics. Oh, he does. Yeah, he's gonna go to do this as quick as he can.
Because if you get it out, you'll get it out for 1, and you'll be able to shoot first.
Yeah, I'll do the athletics roll. Just straight athletics, right?
Yep.
All right.
Come on.
Nelson, this is
What's
your
it mean?
moment.
Whoa, Nelly! Whoa, Nelly!
Oh, Nelly.
Oh my god.
Get it out.
Like a fucking whip.
Does he get any bonuses for that?
Oh,
No,
shit.
he gets to shoot first. That's his bonus. Yeah.
He should be like, bam, bam.
Yeah, fuck's sake.
You could adjust the system. Just saying, for something like that. Something called a legendary
boy.
roll.
Fuck it.
All right. So standard
all
attack
right.
is 3 AP for your pistol. You are at close range.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna say
there's an aim shot,
you're
right?
actually
Is that
at
any-
medium range. Say that again.
Oh, but it's the range or the aim shot is just at a minus.
You take a hardship.
Yeah.
Depending on what it is you're trying to hit.
Yeah, he's just gonna go in for a shot.
Okay. So you're at medium range when you shoot.
So yeah, pistol, right?
Yep.
Maxwell, I'm sorry for this. I didn't want to do this. I tried,
I'm
Maxwell.
sorry. You
I
ain't
fucking
sorry.
tried.
I don't believe you.
Point blank? Or
Medium.
close.
Actually, I'm gonna say close, even because the hexes aren't like lining up.
it,
But you guys are
got it
close.
close.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you guys are
close.
close.
Okay, cool.
God.
Maybe not point blank.
Nelson, this is your fucking moment. You don't fuck this up, boy.
It's a
Eh.
hit. So it's 3. So 11. Let me see. So that's just enough to give him a torso strike. Okay, so it's just enough to give him a wound. It's torso. 1 sec. And that was.
Bill.
Just looking at the horses.
They're beautiful horses.
Rid of the star, Bill.
Alright, I don't know if my AP.
Let's make out.
Yeah,
Hold on 1 sec.
wholesome hand holding.
Slip isn't even here for this. What has she done? Busy playing Roblox.
Alright, let me do something. I gotta reboot the frickin' API real quick. Hold on. Possible infinite loop detected? Okay, that's a new one.
Oh my. That's definitely
I've never
interesting.
seen that before. Okay. So hopefully that works. Okay, so how does it look as you shoot him in the this shoulder?
Yeah, Nelson, he looks like he's not that quick, but, you know, kind of the laid-back attitude he usually has. But Maxwell pulls steel, and just as he does, Nelson, like a whip, brings his hand down and is up, and the trigger is pulled all in one smooth motion, clipping quite heavily into his shoulder.
And as you do that,
Gumble.
he almost kind of leans away, and then basically aims and tries to shoot even though he's been shot. So get the 4. So he's going to aim twice and then shoot. That'll put him at
fucked up now,
7.
Maxwell.
Okay, so here we go.
This is your fault, Maxwell. Take the death. I was just trying to be a nice boy.
Nervous.
Oh, I kind of...
Oh,
You missed.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, Nelson just immediately goes in for the next shot. He's not letting this guy get another chance. All right. Here we go. Maxwell. You did. Oh, I did it. I didn't do the range thing. Oops.
How did you? Oh, it just did 10.
Yeah, I forgot to click the
So
thing at the end. Did it go?
you shot, but the range is 10 plus whatever close is. So.
What about this guy here? What's he doing?
So hold on, let me think.
Sorry about that. I forgot to click the last bit.
Go ahead and just roll it again. We'll keep your roll, but we'll just do the.
Okay, cool. Boop. Oh yeah, I have to. Here we go.
We'll just look at the range TN instead.
Boop boop. Boop, no mods, and it is close. There we go.
So versus a
Oh, for fuck's sake.
19.
Even better.
Yeah. So that's a 19. That's another wound.
My boy's good with a gun. He was in the war. The actual war.
Yeah.
Not unlike a certain person who just tells people he's in the war.
Yeah, you shoot him in the stomach and he is like almost falling over. He actually doesn't shoot. He actually is. So you're at 10 now, I think. Right? Yeah. Or no. You shut. No. You're at. Yeah, you're at. Yeah, you're at 10. Yeah. So he actually begins to run away. He's just like jumps into this stall.
Yeah, Nelson will. How much is it to move?
It's 1 per hex, or you can run for. You can run at least 3.
He doesn't have sight on him at all, does he?
Can you see him? If you can't see him, you can't see him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Nelson will head over, which I think is right there. Does that give me sight? That's 5.
Yeah. So that's your move. You move into the doorway. Maxwell's kind of sitting on the ground, and he looks up at you, and he aims and fires. And this is point blank range.
Mm-hmm.
So he's aiming.
God damn it, Maxwell.
It's like he's like got his trigger up, his gun up, and his hands is shaking, doing his best to aim.
Do you have like some sort of cover because you're peeking around the door frame?
Oh.
Yeah, I'd give him some cover. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Nelly.
Oh, Nelly.
It would be so
Oh my
true.
god, Nelly!
He's very hurt.
Yeah, he's very hurt.
Yeah, Nelson will go ahead and take that shot.
Go ahead. Point blank range.
Oh, I don't want to shoot myself. Oops. Click the wrong thing. Oh yeah, I have to click it again. Here we go.
Give yourself a -3 for the angle, like he had.
Okay. So just hardship?
No, it wouldn't be a hardship. It's just a additional mod.
Oh, additional mods. Okay, -3. Yeah.
Mhm.
Point blank.
It is point blank. Yes.
Ooh,
Oh.
Oh my.
miss.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, okay, so
There's so many dice too.
that was 18. Oh man! Don't shoot me, man! He's just waiting to see what you do.
Yeah. If he doesn't do anything, Nelson's gonna take his shot. This guy tried to kill.
If you, if once he sees kind of you like pull back the hammer, he actually does shoot. So.
Yeah, Nelson is like, oh god, this fucking guy. He's like all in adrenaline, like this is like back in the war. Everybody's shooting at me. I just shoot the person until they stop shooting.
This is just a normal shot at point blank.
The poor boy.
No.
Oh. No.
Oh my god.
This is
Let me
Finish
go
him.
ahead and do this. Come on, fucking Nelson. Still at
Come on,
-3
Nelson.
or?
Yeah,
Finish
you're
him.
both still in -3.
Oh shit! Let me cancel.
Unless you step
Yeah.
forward or something. But
Oh, you know what? He has the movement to.
Yeah, you
yeah,
could
this-
step. You
well,
could step forward and get her out of the way.
Yeah, he just steps forward and.
Okay,
shoots
so
it.
now you're at point blank, or you're actually at point blank now. Adjacent.
If you don't finish him here, it's
Yeah, at this point, it's like, all right, you tried to kill me. Quit it now. This is your fucking fault. But no, he shoots him.
Okay.
shoot him in the head.
So he actually is going to dodge instead, because you're adjacent, so he can do that. And
Oh.
yeah, that's what I figured.
Oh my god.
So it's even.
Oh, fuck,
It's,
Maxwell.
so 25 plus 8, 33. That is going to be, well, it's definitely a wound and an injury. But that is a mortality. I need to roll death roll. Where did that hit him, by the way? In the leg. So -3, that's still 30. Okay. One sec. So he needs to beat a 30. No. How do you kill him?
Yeah, Nelson kind of racked with adrenaline at this point. His heart beating out his chest, his stomach churning. Again, that closeness to death that he felt the whole time he was in the war. Everything he was taught to do. He gives chase, follows the man down, and as the shot goes past him, well over past his shoulder, he just takes aim, close, right through the chest, fires.
And as kind of that last bullet goes off, that's when Jessa, she hasn't gotten to her nightgown or anything like that just yet, but she kind of stripped off the corset, stripped off the dress at the time. So she's kind of in that kind of white lining, that white sheath that's underneath the dress. And you see her show up. She's got the bullwhip in hand. She's got her derringer kind of on her side. And she just hears that last shot ring out. And she's aiming forward once she gets into kind of the ranch, or she's just aiming forward and walking. Who's in here?
Yeah, Nelson, he's around the corner enough to where he can't be seen, right?
More or less, yes.
Yeah, so Winifred's there, right? How's she looking?
She looks aghast. She's just she's in the opposite kind of. She's peeked out over here down to the other side. She looks very scared.
Yeah, Nelson kind of, before stepping out, kind of gives her a nod and puts his finger to his lips, as if to say, "You just be quiet about this," you know, that kind of a look. Should I roll like persuade or anything? Or?
Yeah, go ahead and roll persuade.
Okay. I think he has decent persuade. It was that or intimidate. I don't fucking remember what it was. I hope it's this.
Okay. She just nods, but looks very shakily.
Yeah, Nelson kind of steps out. Oh hell. He is genuinely like exhausted looking, like breathing really heavily. Kind of leans up against the wall there. Oh, Miss Dunn.
What happened? I heard shots. And she kind of puts a gun on safety, and she puts it down. She doesn't put it away, but she puts it down on aiming at Nellie. And she'll take a few steps forward. Was someone in here? What's going on?
That damn Mexican, he drew on me. He was getting at your lady over there. And, well, I come in, and after everything, he drew on me. I didn't have any choice.
Jezebel, is Winnie, like, obviously there?
Yeah, she's where she is. She's crouched on the ground with her hands, her head in her hands.
Jezebel actually just in like this concern just starts just plastered over her face, and she'll just run over to Nellie, or over to Winifred, and lean down. Winnie, are you okay?
Her blouse still pulling open and stuff.
Yeah, more or less. Yes, yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. Oh my God.
Next will hurt you.
I, it's been going on for a while, but oh God.
What? Where is he?
She looks very, very, like, hauntingly towards Nelson and past him in the stall.
Yeah, Nelson kind of looks to Jezebel. He's dead. He got a lot of shots off at me, but luckily he didn't get me.
He shot at you for trying to assault Winnie?
Nelson.
She's kind of holding, like, she helps Winnie up, and she pulls her into a very deep hug, holding her very closely. You can see the affection that Jessa gives Winnie as she turns over and looks at Nelson.
Yeah, he kind of slumps against the stall there, down on the floor. Yeah, he lets out a big, heavy sigh.
I never expected anything like this. I'm so sorry, Winnie.
Can't say I ever met a Mexican, but now I don't know if I want to again.
She turns back to Winnie and holding her close, tucks her hair behind her ear. I'm so sorry, I didn't know. I'm so sorry he hurt you.
She looks at Jezebel and then looks to Nelson and looks back to Jezebel. Hey, oh God. She looks
Okay,
very, like, almost catatonic.
Look, you and you're gonna come to the house with me tonight. We're gonna stay there, alright? It's gonna be okay.
Thank you, Miss Jessa.
Of course, Winnie. She turns to Nelson. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry it came to this. I mean, I really didn't want to. I mean, he does genuinely look pretty distraught with the whole thing.
No, I understand. I never could have anticipated this. You can see Jessa looks very, again, genuinely very concerned about Winnie and just very shocked and hurt.
As she says, let's bring Ladybug with us.
Where?
Is this,
Where?
just please.
Of course. We'll bring her back to the estate. She, again, kind of holds Winnie's face in both her hands, cupping her cheeks and looking down, or looking at her, probably about the same height. It's alright. We'll take Ladybug with us. It's gonna be okay now. He's gone.
Yes. I just need some tea, or I'm sorry, ma'am.
Yeah. Of course. I'll make sure to get Rosie to make us some tea. You know what? You and I we'll stay in my room tonight. You can sleep beside me. Okay?
She nods. Bo, did you get my whisper? You can come in at any time.
Oh, yep.
And she
Yeah.
nods.
Oh, go ahead.
But yeah, go ahead, Bo.
Yeah, from outside you hear a horse kind of gallop from far away. And then a clip, clop, and a hasty horse being hitched to a post outside. Tucker comes in with his steel brandished and kind of looks around.
Nelson sat there, exasperated looking, starting to regain his composure.
Jez is just holding Winnie, and she looks over to Bill as he... Oh, hi, Sheriff. And she looks back to Nelson. He's... If you two wouldn't mind, I'm gonna take Winnie and I'm gonna take Ladybug, and we're just gonna head back to the state, okay?
Nelson nods quietly.
Yeah, as Winnie's walking with Jezebel, she gives Nelson a long look. You're not sure if it's disappointment or, you know, maybe not anger, but yeah, the look is a mix of emotions that's hard to kind of explain. Accusatory a
Nelson,
bit.
He looks back to her and kind of gives her a very genuine, like, conflicted look of his own, kind of, and like he really doesn't know what to think about the whole situation by now. He came in here trying to do something that he thought was right, but now he's really not sure where this ended up. He kind of just gives her a dour look and a nod and turns away.
Jessa makes sure to kind of unlock the paddock and take the reins of Lady.
You notice something, Jessa, as you go over to Ladybug, is that the horse is saddled.
Yeah, she pauses for a moment. I'm guessing it's this one here.
It's like this one over here, but that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, she looks to Winnie. Leans in. Why is she saddled? I thought Mary was in her room.
She looks at Jessa and then looks to Nelson, but doesn't. She just shakes her head, doesn't say anything.
Yeah, Nelson doesn't even notice. He's not really looking that way anymore.
She pauses, just leave at that, and she's like, just one moment, okay, sweetheart. I just want to make sure that the deputy and sheriff are sent out appropriately, okay?
I'll get Ladybug, she says.
Just stay in the stall and make sure she's okay, all right? Just give her some carrots or something, but I just don't want you or Ladybug out of my sight, okay?
She
just stay here.
She nods and like moves quickly over into the stall.
She comes over and observes, I guess, Bill and Nellie as they're kind of interacting.
Yes, Bill's looking Nellie over for wounds quickly. He's not saying much.
Yeah,
Nelson seems... Yeah, he seems a bit distant, very quiet, much more so than usual even, and... Damn it, Bill. Why does it always end up like this?
It always ends up like this, Nellie, because you told me to ride on up the path and you get yourselves in this situation.
Why did I think you was going to pull steel on me, Bill?
Don't ever trust a Mexican. He kind of looks into the stall and he sees the blood leaking out there.
Fuck, I really didn't.
Come on, let's get you out of here, son.
Yeah, he stands up, kind of quiet. He's still pretty pale, kind of... Not really exasperated anymore, just kind of sullen.
So, Nelson, I'm assuming the note is still in your hand. Is that true?
No, well, I guess it would be in his pocket by then.
That's fine. After the... Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I imagine the moment that it was looking like they were going to draw steel, he wouldn't have it out anymore.
That's fine.
Jezebel kind of holds up a finger. Gentlemen, I'm so sorry to pull you away, but I just gotta ask. She looks at Nelson. Why were you in here? And Sheriff Tucker, why were you leaving? Why were the two of you separated?
Yeah, Nelson kind of looks up, seeing like the genuine like concern she had for Winifred and everything, and kind of thinks about it for a moment. Well, oh man, Mary wanted me to come get Ladybug, and I come in to see how things were going, get the horse set up, and well, he was kind of motions over towards Winifred. We got into an argument, and he drew steel, going on about the horse, and
Jezebel frowns at that. So you got into an argument, and was he assaulting Winifred at this time, or was it just the argument about the horse that you say that Mary had told you about getting? You can see the demeanor just changes completely at that.
yeah, he's not really looking or anything. He's still kind of slumped a bit, and yeah, he had done that to Winifred, and when I noticed, she had her blouse torn open and everything, and he just wouldn't quit.
Wouldn't quit what? Exactly.
Going on. Thought I was a horse thief. And then he drew steel on me.
Why would you think he's a horse thief? Or why would he think that you were a horse thief?
I don't know. I come in here, I tried to show him the note, and he kind of pulls out the note of ownership and shows her the actual ownership thing. And
You mind if I just see this up close?
yeah, it's the actual, well, it's not that note, it's the actual note of ownership that was with it.
Do you mind if I see it? And she holds out her hand.
Yeah, he just holds it up to show her, doesn't like put it in her hand or anything. She wanted to entrust the horse to me, and I figured, all right, well, I'll go get the horse and I'll catch up with Bill. And then he went on, and he
Went on
pulled
about
steel on me.
what? Exactly. What did he go on about?
Like I said, call me a horse thief. He wouldn't listen. I showed him the note. He doesn't know how to read. He wouldn't quit.
If you don't know how to read, then she just kind of pinches her brow. So, hey, you drew steel on him because he didn't believe you.
I didn't draw steel. He did. I tried to tell the bastard. He just wouldn't listen. And after seeing what he did with Winifred, I was, well, I don't even know no more.
She'll look at the
But
ownership.
I told the bastard to
sorry,
quit.
go ahead.
And then he drew anyway.
She'll look at the note of ownership and kind of squint, reading it. Deputy, that's forged. Ladybug actually belongs to me, not Mary.
Nelson will kind of look the thing over, and does it look like that?
I mean, how would you know? You don't know whose signature is.
I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, you can look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Nelson will show
it's
it to
a
you.
feminine signature, but it's hard to say. Actually, I don't even know how feminine it would be, to be quite honest.
Yeah, probably not much.
But it's you have nothing to compare it to, so.
Well, I can't say as to whether it is or not, but your maid there, what's her name?
Winnie.
No, the other one.
Rosie.
Yeah, she handed it to me. It was supposed to be from Mary, from what she said. Said she wanted me to take the horse. Said she couldn't have it no more.
Jezebel frowns and you see her kind of cross her arm. Well, fortunately, Deputy, that horse actually does not belong to Mary. Again, it belongs to me, and she doesn't have a right to give any ownership over it.
I don't know about that.
I know about it, considering, well, I'm very experienced in owning horses, and, well, that horse is under my name.
Well, how about we bring Mary down here and she can explain the whole thing? I don't even know what the hell's going on at this point.
She holds up a finger. So, Nellie, my apologies, Deputy, you don't trust me. You just shot my man here, and you're skulking around my stables, and you shot my man.
Drew steel on me. He assaulted your woman. He points over towards Winifred.
You're still skulking around my stables there, Deputy, and I don't know if you have a right to.
I think I have every right. Mary told me she wanted that horse safe and away from here.
And the horse is mine. I think that you have some explaining to do here, Deputy. I don't think that it has anything to do with Mary. It is my horse.
Nelson looks to Bill and hands him the note and the other note. Bill, I don't know what the hell to deal with this.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell to do with this either, Nellie. I know that you came back here against my better wishes. You said you needed to talk to a friend. Miss Jezebel, I'm sorry. I'm going to take this note. What we have here is a hit situation with horses. The horses can stay here. Well, we do know what happened is we have one man dead and we have shots fired. So would anybody protest the fact that we're going to keep the horses here where they stay? I'm going to take this note back to the sheriff's office and we'll deal with this shit in the morning. Pardon my French.
Of course, Sheriff Tucker. You know, get this note analyzed. We can deal with this in the morning. I'm deeply sorry about what happened, and again, thank you so much, Deputy. I did not expect my man to be assaulting Winifred as such, but we do need to get this sorted out.
As far as I'm concerned, man, this is sorting out. This Mexican here was assaulting your servant, and if I had any say in the matter, well, he just got what he was coming to him.
Of course, but this is the matter to do with the horses, not this jam. If you don't mind, I'm a bit crazy when it comes to bodies. I assume you can. I don't look at them, especially. And she takes out a handkerchief from her bosom and takes it out and starts dabbing her eyes. I'm especially very, very upset considering my husband died a few months ago, and she just kind of clutches her mouth and turns away. I just can't deal with any more dead bodies.
Yeah, you guys catch, as she's going on, you catch a figure kind of outside the stables peeking in.
Nelson he's not really paying attention. I mean, he would notice fuck all. He kind of just nods. Yeah, well, I really don't know what the hell's going on with all this horse business. I'm just trying to do a friend a favor. But you look after your lady there. He sure enough didn't seem like he was kind to her.
Of course, Deputy. I'll make sure. We'll get this all sorted out in the morning. I'm sorry. And she kind of takes a deep breath and kind of dabs underneath her eyes. Let me just compose myself for a moment. She looks over to Sticky Joe, who appears in the door. Oh, Joseph. Sorry, he's one of my other servants in the house. I guess he heard what was going on.
Sticky Joe comes in, gun drawn, hammer cocked back, smelling the gunpowder, and kind of sees what's going on. He's like, starts heading towards Jess and, oh, Jesus Christ, what's going on in here?
It's fine, Joseph. Everything's fine. Just the sheriff and the deputy are here. Maxwell, he tried to assault my poor girl, and the deputy and the sheriff are here. The deputy took care of him. Everything's fine. Don't worry. She looks to the sheriff and Nelson. Can we just get this sorted out in the morning with the horse business and everything?
Yeah, I suppose so. I trust the horses will be all set and ready for us tomorrow. Figure out what the hell's going on.
Of course.
Yes. Perhaps these two gentlemen can take care of Maxwell, and I'll escort you to the manor.
Yeah, just give me a moment. I just need to make sure when he's okay. She'll look back to the deputies. Sorry, if you two can... I'm sure you know the way out. If you two could... She kind of motions towards the exit.
Yeah, Nelson gives a nod. Yeah, I suppose we best get out, Bill. Although, Miss Jezebel, I hope you give Mary my regards. I don't know what all this is going on, but I'd like to talk to her about it all tomorrow.
Of course, I'll see if she's available, but please, Winnie and I we need some time.
Nelson just gives a nod. Waits for Bill, see what he does.
Yeah, Bill took the note, guys.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So I'm kind of looking at it, reading it on.
Yeah, he's got the proper note as well, so.
So this is the real note.
Yeah, the note from to Nellie that I shared is the note, and then there's another note with the mark on there.
Yeah, with the actual like ownership stuff, like legitimate looking. I guess I don't know. There's no way. Like you
As far
said,
as you guys know.
yeah.
So are you all dispersing now, pretty much?
Yeah, Nelson's kind of waiting on Bill.
Sticky kind of puts the hammer back down and holsters his gun and waits for Jessa to allow him to escort her out.
Once the sheriff and Nellie are gone.
Well, before are you
yeah.
guys gonna leave? I just want to make what are you guys doing?
No, I don't think I can leave. Looking at this note.
Yeah, Nelson's kind of waiting on Bill. He's kind of giving him that eye of, you see what I mean?
See, I have no clue about the other.
Yeah, right? Yeah, what the fuck do we do here? Now you know how Nelson felt.
No, I don't watch the videos. I don't keep up.
Well, you don't really have to.
I mean just like the fucking note itself, like fuck's sake.
So okay, let me try to explain. The note to Nellie, that's kind of obvious. Then there's another note with that mark, right? The CCR mark. So you can, it's like a design, right? The brand or whatever. And that's, as my understanding, that is, that's it, right?
So I just want to I'll make a roll about which one I believe. Let's make it quick.
I'm gonna make a deceit check.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it's a roll with what? It's not forged though. It's real, right?
Jess is saying it's forged.
And I'll just do a detect lies.
Sure.
It's fine.
Fucking what? Oh my god.
We know how this will turn out.
Holy shit.
If he fucking explodes, like I said, oh my god.
Amazing.
If she weren't so absurd.
She's believable as fuck.
Man.
Bill's like, come on, Nellie. Horse is a horse. We'll figure this out in the morning.
Yeah, Nelson just nods. Yeah.
And kind of leads him out and says, what I tell you about every doe-eyed woman in this town of LeClaire, they bat their eyes at you when you drop trowel and bend over. Jesus Christ.
Bill, she saved my damn life out there with them David boys. I owe her that.
I'm gonna assume this is said as you guys are walking out.
Yeah, like once we're out of earshot.
Oh, were they? Listen, I'll hear your tale in the morning, but for now, we don't have a leg to stand on. We have a note from some lady. From what I can tell, Jezebel and her folk, they're just caught up in this mess.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. Personally, I don't know. I trust Mary on it, but she seemed an alright lady. But, fuck, I really don't know, Bill. Let's just get some damn sleep.
After a hard day, even harder now, the two lawmen make their way back to town, leaving Jessa and Sticky Joe along with Winifred in the barn.
As they leave, get on their horses and depart, Jessa will, as kind of they exit and get on their horses, just patting her eyes, and right as they leave, she stops. Her kind of demeanor gets very dark. She'll look over to Joe. Joe, I'd like to make sure that you escort Winnie back into the estate. I'd like you also to make sure that Mary is now, shall we say, brought down to the cellar. I want you to make sure you lock the doors afterwards. I also want you to make sure that Rosie is dealt with. If you can't stomach dealing with Rosie, bring her here. I'll deal. But a toe's been stepped out of line. I was clear to Mary.
Jessa, I know I've only been here for a few days, but I think you need to stop and think about what you're about to do.
What do I need to think about? Joe, I told Mary if she stepped a toe out of line, Ladybug was going to pay.
I understand, but killing the poor girl's horse,
Look,
there has to be something else.
Look, Joe. I already told her, and I'm very firm on what I say. If I don't follow through with this, she ain't gonna stick to my word. You understand me? She'll think I'm soft. She'll continue to do what she's doing, passing notes to Rosie. So, the option is, and you give me instruction on this, because I'm trying to hold back a lot. She leans into Joe so Winifred doesn't hear. Either I can take out Ladybug and Rosie, or one or the other, because obviously Rosie I can't trust no more.
Look, I know you've been through a lot with the loss of your husband, but you gotta understand, family, it's one of the few things we have.
The loss of my husband, Joe. And she puts her hands on his shoulders again, keeping her voice low. You know I killed my husband, right, Joe? You understand that? You understand that I don't give a shit about that part of the family. I killed her father, too. I don't care. She's just another pawn on the chessboard. She's just another piece. That's all she is.
Can you guys give me a perception roll?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sticky's eyes are like wide when he's like listening to this.
Oh my. Guess who just upped his perception by 2 at the start of the session?
That's why I waited until you left.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is this everybody? Or...
No, just
she
the
waited.
two people.
Yeah.
We're gone.
Yeah, you guys are
We're gone.
way
Oh
gone.
man. If only.
Hold on. Let me, this is not gonna go well, but I might as well do it. Yeah, Winnie's just like, she's creeping the hell out of here right now. You both see her. She's
Yeah.
not very sneaky.
Sticky turds. You get back right here, right now, woman.
Winnie, it's okay. It's okay. Just come here.
She turns around and makes her way back. Okay, I don't know what to do.
Winnie, shh. And she'll go over to her and again cradle her face in her hands. It's okay, Winnie. Look, as far as I'm concerned, and you need to listen to me on this and trust me, I love you. And I care about you very deeply, and trust, I consider you very deep family. Because if I knew Maxwell was doing those things to you, trust me, I would have made him suffer more than Nellie ever could. Because you are my light girl. And I would never let anything purposely happen to you, okay? You understand?
She looks up into your eyes and nods.
You can trust me. Because I ain't gonna let anything ever happen to you ever again. And if anyone even tries, if anyone even looks at you sideways, you tell them. And I will make sure to make them suffer. And they will go to hell through my hands.
She doesn't say anything, but just seems to agree with her. She nods a bit.
Alright, girl. I just want you to make sure the other horses are okay because those were a lot of gunshots, and make sure Ladybug, and especially make sure Buttercup's okay. want to make sure the Buttercup's okay. Afterwards, we're very quickly going to go to the estate, and you and I, we're going to go to bed. And it's going to be a new day tomorrow. It's going to be no Maxwell, no deputies, no sheriffs, no nothing. And you and I, we're just going to spend a few days together. We're going to tend to the horses together. We're going to do everything together. You and I, okay?
Okay.
Good. She pats her on the top of the head, stroking her down the sides of her head and kissing her forehead.
She's shivering just in fear of everything that's happened.
She nods. Now let me and Joe just talk for a little bit, and then we'll go back to the house with Ladybug, okay?
Okay.
Good. She lets go of Winnie and steps to Joe. Her face again going from very extremely concerned to very serious. Like I said, Joe, Mary ain't family. She's just a commodity. Winnie is family.
How could you say someone like Winnie is family but not your own kin?
She's not my birth niece. She's just a niece by marriage.
But still, she's just a stable girl. What's so special about her?
She's been very loyal to me, Joe. She's traveled a long way for me, and I pulled her out of some very dark times. I trust her. She puts a hand and kind of cups Joe's cheeks, same way she cupped Winnie's, and pulls them close. Look, there's a lot of people that are out to get me, and I mean, you saw me get shot at in the mines. Yeah, I know she seems trustworthy, but she ain't. Rosie ain't trustworthy either. They might be just, I don't know, might be working for the people who are trying to kill me too. Trying to undermine me.
You know you don't mean that.
I mean it,
Mary
Joe.
wouldn't do something like that to you.
Maybe not, but she's not following what I say, Joe.
She's young and she's stupid.
What do you want me to do?
Rosie knows better. If you're gonna punish somebody, punish her. She should know better. She should have came to you when Mary was trying to act out. Blame it on the youth. Rosie should know better. She should be the one that gets punished.
Jezebel and squishes Joe's cheeks together and pinches them. You're right. I should punish Rosie. I need you to do me a very deep favor, Joe.
What's that?
I need you to bring Rosie down to the cellar. Make sure she stays there.
Are you gonna meet her down there?
Oh, I am going to meet her down there. I ain't gotta shoot this horse, but I'm gonna meet I'm gonna meet Rosie down in that cellar.
I just want to make sure. Did you just say you're going to shoot the horse?
No, she's not gonna shoot the horse, but she's gonna meet Rosie down the cellar.
Joe kind of takes her by the hands and, I'll make sure she gets down there, but that kind of work, it's not for a woman such as yourself. She needs to be punished. I'll be the one that does it for you.
No, Joe. I need to do this myself. I understand it's not a woman's work, but I think in this particular case it is. I also want you to make sure that there's no way that Mary can leave her room, whether through the window or through the door. Either bring her into a room and lock her in that has no windows, or bar the ones that are. I just want to make sure she can't escape, due to the fact that she is confided to the estate. Do you understand?
I do. I'll get Rosie down into the cellar, and then I'll personally keep my eyes on Mary and make sure she doesn't make a break for it.
Good. Even if that means tying the girl up, that's fine with me, because I'm gonna need some personal time tonight, Joe.
Joe kind of looks at her and trying his best to hide mixed feelings, but he keeps one of her hands in his, and I'll do that for you. I'll make sure she stays put, and I'll make sure you do what you need to be doing with Rosie. Now, why don't you come with me back to the manor and get you dressed proper?
Grab Winifred. We can all head back together.
What do you want me to do with her? You said something about her sleeping in your room. Want me to see to it that she stays in there?
Winnie doesn't need to be confined. Just Mary. Winnie's gonna sleep in my room. We'll find another quiet place. How about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Jessa smiles and kisses Joe on the cheek. Alright, well, I'm gonna grab Ladybug and bring her out to the front. Winnie seemed pretty concerned, so I'm gonna do as she wishes. And Jessa goes over to Ladybug, grabbing the reins, but she makes sure to take off the saddle, all the riding equipment before leading her out. And if she does, she'll have Ladybug's reins in the left hand and take Winnie's hand in her right and say leave.
You head back to the manor. Joe goes to collect Rosie and check on Mary, and quickly realizes neither of them are there. And as the screen pulls back on the manor, you see Rosie leading a horse somewhere in the darkness with a inebriated Mary hunched over in the saddle. And the screen then fades to black, and that's it.